There was never a more important time. We are at a crossroads as a state, as a county, as a city, and as a party. My name is Amy Hathaway, and I am running for the seat of secretary in this caucus. A resilient community is one where people make connections with each other, where people are actively engaged and work together. This is an opportunity within the Cheshire County Democratic Committee for all of us to shape the work. Too many people feel ignored or simply shut out of the process. Our job is to listen, welcome ideas, and encourage participation in the work ahead. Now is the time to restore faith in the Democratic Party. It is time to build connections across the state and within every one of the 23 towns in Cheshire County. It is imperative for the people of New Hampshire that Democrats win, not just at the top of the ticket, but all the way down. We need a strong message, a message that is heard by the people of New Hampshire. Let's get started. Thank you.
My name is Phillio, and I am running for the treasurer of the Cheshire County Democrats because I believe in the Democratic Party. I believe in the Democrats because I believe healthcare matters. Health and wellness are a human right, and the Democrats are the party that fight for this. I'm a Democrat because I believe economic justice matters and that every person deserves a livable wage for hard work. I'm a Democrat because I believe Black lives matter and that we need to achieve the racial equity that was dreamed of by Dr. King, but we still work towards this day. And I'm a Democrat because I believe all voices matter. We are the party that embraces democracy, embraces debate, and embraces a wide variety of viewpoints. We need to achieve that within our own party. That's why I'm running for the Democratic Party, but I'm running as treasurer because I have the background and skills to be an effective treasurer for our party. I was trained in forensic accounting by the New Hampshire Attorney General's office and used those skills at the Bureau of Securities Regulation in New Hampshire to help prosecute one of the largest cases of securities fraud into the state's history and helped gain back over $5 million for New Hampshire consumers. I was named as an American Bar Association Steiger Fellow for excellence in consumer protection law, and I was named by the University of New Hampshire as a Yakos Prize recipient for excellence in financial law. I have the skills and perspective to bring our party forward, to protect our treasury, but more than that, protect the variety of opinions that exist in our party as we move forward to the next election.
It was the summer of 1996 when I became a naturalized citizen. I was finishing my undergraduate degree and preparing for the graduate school. I still remember the oath-taking ceremony, how I got emotional as I raised my hand and swore my allegiance to the United States of America. For me, it was not just a legal status or an opportunity for a better life. I grew up in Bangladesh under military dictatorship. What mattered to me most, that in this country, I had the right to vote, and my vote counted just as much as everyone else's, rich or poor, white or brown. I have experienced that privilege with pride and joy ever since. As I became more aware of the inequality and injustice that still ails our nation, I got more engaged in social activism and with the Democratic Party. I realized the platform of the Democratic Party agrees more with the way I envision the future of the country and the world. I believe that a just and egalitarian society must be built with collective empathy for the unfortunate. I have canvassed door to door, starting in 2004, continuing to this day. Serving as the vice chair of the Cheshire County Democratic Committee, I helped strengthen and initiate multiple town committees. In the process, I have met a lot of very engaged and politically experienced Democrats and gained wisdom from some wonderful conversation. Sadly, I've also observed that many people are not exercising their voting rights because they have lost faith that vote matters and their voices will be heard. Our work, the Democratic Party's work, is to restore that faith, regardless of their political affiliation. We can do this if we continue to talk to the people and listen to their concerns, withholding judgment. When more people participate in democracy, the world moves to a better place, a more peaceful coexistence. My professional background is in science and engineering. I tend to look and strive for solutions with tenacity, even when the solution is not self-evident. In that spirit, I was honored to harness the goodwill of this community and free a man from the clutches of ICE after his legal team gave up hope. Building on that work, I joined the founding board members of the nonprofit Project Home, a grassroots organization that helps asylum seekers find homes in our community. I have also volunteered as a Big Brother, Big Sister mentor and promoted LGBTQ right in the bathroom access committee of the local YMCA. My goal is to continue to listen to the concerns of the people of the county and promoting the virtue of caring for the other. Our caring should go beyond charity and acceptance only. We are working to champion and respect the dignity in every person's life. I believe by listening with compassion and empathy in our heart, we'll continue to expand our party in communities of red and blue and all other shades in between. In doing so, we'll facilitate and empower leaders in our party who are running for elected office. I seek your support for the chair of the County Democrats Committee. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Susan Hay, and I would like to tell you why I am running for the delegate at large position in the Cheshire County Democrat Committee. I am running to help create a culture that seeks out and works with diverse perspectives, diverse candidates, and diverse strategies. I suspect that every Democratic caucus has language of building a large tent, etc., but it's actually very hard work. But it's worth it because in my experience, when diverse perspectives are welcome, when we know that we've been heard and valued, we stop fighting with each other and become, as a group, more courageous. Secondly, there are 23 towns in Cheshire County, and it is this committee's job to engage, support, and grow Democratic participation in each of these towns and in elections. I'm running to do this work. I will work hard to support and develop strong town committees and to help local candidates run campaigns and win elections. And finally, I believe that Democrats win when we connect our platform and values to the concerns of all members of our community. I've often been told that Cheshire is dependent on canvassers from Massachusetts coming in each election cycle to knock doors and do the work. And while we really welcome our neighbors' support, they can't do the work of getting communities engaged to make sure that our democracy works for all our citizens. That's our job. It's our job to ensure that our democratic platform is used to guide our policies, to determine how our money is spent, and to encourage people to get involved with this work, among other ways, by running for local offices. I'm committed to win elections because elections have consequences. And when Democrats win elections, more children are food secure, less people lose their homes, public education is supported, and the middle class grows. Just a bit about me. I'm a Jersey girl, and I moved here 25 years ago with my husband and my then 1-year-old son. I'm thrilled to call Keene my home. I run a small business and have a track record of social justice work and in supporting Democratic campaigns. And I served on the school board for 6 years. And for the past 2 years, I've led efforts to raise a lot of money for a cause that I care deeply about. Thanks for listening, and hopefully thanks for your support and for your willingness in the future to work with me if I should get elected.
My name is Ed Sheldon, and I have been a proud member of the Democratic Party nearly as long as I can remember. And that's saying something, because for all intents and purposes, that shouldn't have been a sure thing. I grew up in a bipartisan household. My dad was a Democrat, my mom a Republican, and neither of them was particularly political. But in 1992, something changed. My dad started to go to Bill Clinton rallies in our small 400-person town, not unlike my current community of Swansea. One night, a woman turned to 10-year-old me and said, "Are you a future Democrat, or are you just here with your dad?" I said, "I'm a future Democrat," but I didn't know what that meant at the time. I had no understanding of the issues of our country, but I knew that I trusted my dad. And if he cared enough to come down and give his time, then I did too. Over the years, I became more and more conscious of the world around me. I married my wife, Jasmine. We bought our first home together. We had 2 beautiful girls, Andrea and Annabelle. We made it through the Great Recession, overcame a major health crisis, transitioned our kids from childcare to preschool to school, got promoted and lost jobs, and at every step in our path, it was more and more clear that I had chosen the right party. And while I leaned more progressive, my dad continued as a pragmatic Democrat. My mom has now joined us as well, inspired by Barack Obama's message of hope. We need Democrats to move us forward. We need Democrats to deliver healthcare reforms that will protect families. We need Democrats to fight for workers. We need Democrats to combat systemic racism and sexism, and we need Democrats to lead the world in addressing climate change. But Democrats only win when we embrace the full spectrum of our party, when both I and folks like my parents have a voice. And that's why I'm here, running for delegate at large as part of the Slate for Democracy. I believe there is an opportunity to build a coalition of all Democrats, focused on the issues we care about and believe in, and I am excited to rise to the challenge of building that inclusive tent. Thank you, and I appreciate your support.
Hello, everyone. My name is Natalie Cubedo, and I'm running for the delegate at large seat for Cheshire County Democrats. I moved to Cheshire County 10 years ago, and I recently ran for state representative to serve Winchester and fell short by just a handful of votes. That once strongly held Democratic seat was lost, just like many other state house seats, because of outside influence from the Free State Organization. This is a challenge that a lot of towns outside of Keene are facing, and it needs to be addressed with the people here and throughout our entire county. Our small towns are being inundated with people being recruited to live here to dismantle our local democracy, and I cannot sit by and watch that happen any longer. It's not easy being a mover and a shaker in a small town that you didn't grow up in. Our voices tend to be silenced by lifelong residents that are not comfortable with change. And sadly, the groups being recruited here are taking advantage of our lifelong residents, my neighbors. They're making my neighbors believe that the people who want to help, like myself, are the ones taking away from the life that they once knew. That couldn't be further from the truth. That is, in fact, the exact opposite of what we are trying to do. We love our democracy, and we do not want to see it torn apart by a libertarian agenda focused on underfunding our schools and dismantling our government. My neighbors who have been fighting for so long to make progress are beat down and tired. They need help. And together we can help them. We, the Democratic Party, need to make people feel more empowered to speak up and have a voice. We need to educate our base and to organize locally. We need to get our tired activists energized again. We need to invest in our small communities, and we need all of our Democratic colleagues, progressive, moderate, and anything in between, to work together. We need to focus on not only the platform, but more importantly, we need to focus on the people, my neighbors, your neighbors. And if elected to this position, I can help us do just that. We need our community back. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Andrew Manival. I'm running for a delegate at large position in the Cheshire County Democratic Committee. We have serious issues that we need to deal with here in New Hampshire and in the country generally. These issues include our healthcare system, education more or less from top to bottom, the climate crisis, and economic inequality, among many other things. And I believe the solutions are out there, solutions that to find them will require commitment from individuals, cooperation among groups, and compassion from everybody. And one other thing, and that is facts, science, truth, reality. We have to be willing and able to confront those in our deliberative process and in how we solve problems. It won't suffice to deal with the problems we face if we're immersed in conspiracy theories and propaganda and nonsense. When people say you should tell people what you care about when you're running for office, I say the thing I care about is truth. It's honesty. It's direct speaking. It's common sense. And Democrats need to be the serious party. We need to come forward with good ideas, good plans, the research to support them. And we need a broad coalition of people to do that. We need enthusiasm and engagement. And we need everyone pulling together. I know from experience that change happens from the ground up. It doesn't happen from the top down. And this will start with grassroots involvement. That's what's critical to build, and that's what's critical for finding solutions to our problems. When people pull together, we can make things work and work well. When people are not working together, change is far less likely to happen. So how am I able to help with this? Well, I live in Harrisville. I have my family here. I've been very involved with municipal government in the town. I've been on the select board, the planning board, the zoning board of adjustment. I know municipal governance. I've got a long background in business. I've run a big company and I'm now running a small company. I have a legal background. And right now I'm working in dispute resolution and mediation. And I would like to bring these skills, this experience, to the process of working within the Democratic Party to find change and bring about improvements in New Hampshire. So how would I ask how you could help? Well, first and foremost, I would ask you to stay engaged, stay involved, work with us, work together with the Democratic Party. Obviously, I'd appreciate your support, but whether I get your vote or not, I certainly would love to see you working with Cheshire County's Democratic Party. So thank you very much.